Welcome to this hip and leg restoring session. We're here to rejuvenate the body and letting ourselves come out of here feeling a little bit more relaxed and open. So, what do you need? You need a yoga mat. If you don't have a yoga mat, you can totally use the floor. You just want something with a little bit of grip so that way you can actually grip with what we do. The second thing I'd recommend is if you have yoga blocks at your disposal, or something very similar, you can use books. Get creative if you're around your house. You're going to want to use these for a few different things that I'm going to suggest them to. They really do help with alignment and keeping yourself in good position. I practice, right? I'm a flow addict, and I still use these because these are effective. So drop the ego if you need them, use them. So have them ready if you need them. And we are going to start actually by just being right here. You're just going to take yourself on your mat. We're going to start in easy pose. And if you would like, even, you can take yourself on a block or just something comfy and raise those hips if that feels good. And we're just going to take a nice inhale, exhaling, dropping those eyes. We're just going to tune into our breath for a moment. Feeling that breath pulling in through the nose, out of the mouth. Dropping judgment, letting go of tension. Just letting yourself arrive right here. And let's just take 3 more breaths, really inhaling, feeling the body fill with that air. And exhaling, letting it all go. Two more times, relaxing the jaw, inhaling. And one more time. Gently opening those eyes. Today we're actually going to start. So if you're right here in easy pose, you're just going to take yourself, legs out in front of you, soles of the feet on the ground, and we're just going to lower ourselves all the way down to the mat. Finding some length in the body. You can actually take those hands over the head and just stretching like you're waking up. That feels so good. We're actually going to start walking those hands to the right corner of the mat and then shimmying those feet over. If you want, you can cross that left leg over the right leg, creating that nice, almost crescent moon shape, opening the left side of the body. Let's just do 2 more breaths here. And last exhale, shimmying back through to center and crossing those legs, moving over to the left side of the mat. Crossing right leg over the left leg, hands over the left corner. Something to remember here. When you inhale, think about expanding through those areas of tightness. So right now, as you inhale, think about really making space all the way from the hips on the right side through that armpit. And then exhaling, settling in. Let's do 4 more breaths. And last exhale for you, uncrossing, coming back to center, taking those hands down by the sides. You're going to inhale, pull that left or right leg into chest. You can roll that ankle around if you want. Mine likes to crack. I have a lot of space there. And extending that leg straight up above you, clasping those hands behind that leg, whether that be behind the hamstring, the knee, or the calf. One more inhale, pull it a little bit closer, lift the head if you want, and exhale. And gently releasing. Let's lower that leg on a 5 count down. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And nice inhale. Exhale, pulling that left leg into the chest, whatever the opposite leg is for you. Rolling those ankles around, those toes around. And nice inhale, extending that leg, clasping behind where you find fit, pointing those toes towards you. Inhaling, filling the space on the back of the leg. We got 5 breaths. And last breath, gently lowering, 5 count down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And let's take a nice inhale, exhaling, pulling those knees up into the chest. This is the egg roll, I call it, in flow. Rocking back and forth, giving that lumbar spine, honestly, the whole back, a nice massage. And one more rock back and forth. Centering back up, placing those hands back down on the mat. Nice inhale, extending those legs straight up above you, heels driving in towards the sky. You can take your hands here or on the belly. We've got 6 breaths. And relaxing. We're going to take those knees, we're driving up into a happy baby, driving those elbows into the armpits and taking those hands around either the toe or that whole foot, letting yourself drop in here. We're going to have 8 breaths here. If you want, you can rock it back and forth like this, or if just pulling it open really is doing the trick, stay here. And releasing it, extending those legs right back up to the sky, hands down by the sides. We're lowering these legs on 6 seconds, or 6 counts. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax. Oh, I don't know about you, but that's definitely feeling good. Let's take ourselves, we're rolling right up and coming through into tabletop. Finding ourselves here. We're just going to make sure our wrists feel good. So let's take our hands, palms up, fingers facing towards us. Listen, oh my God, dry throat. Listen to your range of motion here. Rocking up, back and forth toward the front and the back of the mat, just really making some space. And just one more rock. And coming back to neutral. You're going to stay like this, but I'm going to come like this so I can show you what's next. So we're going to come into a thread the needle with the leg extended. You're going to start taking that left leg, kicking it out to the side. We're going to also take our left arm and we're going to inhale, reaching it up to the sky. And as you exhale, you're going to dive through threading. This might be a little tight. We're going to hold that there for a little while. If that is tight, take that block. Even a foam roller might work for this. And as you drop through, just rest your head there, finding that nice space. Let's hold it 5 more breaths. And squaring that right hand off, inhaling, unthreading, reaching it right back up. And this time, taking that hand right back to neutral. And you stay right here. I'm going to come back like this so you can see what I'm doing. That leg's going to be out to the side. You're going to still have yourself nice and square. You are going to shift the hips back like this. And you can come right back forward. We're going to be here for about 8 breaths. If this feels good, see if you can just rock back like this. Think about if any part of the foot wants to stay on the ground. I'll scoot back. It's the heel, not the whole foot. If you need to lift it up, that's totally okay. It might feel a little bit better. And one more breath. And pulling it back through into center. That felt good, eh? Let's get that other side. Taking that right leg out, kicking it out, and reaching that right arm up and inhaling. And exhaling, threading through. Finding that space, keeping those hips square. One more inhale and exhale here. And then inhaling, unthreading, reaching it right back up to the sky. And bringing that hand right back down to neutral. On the other side, you might have noticed my back toes were tucked. If that does not feel good, you can totally just let that foot rest without the toes getting that nice stretch. But if you like the toe stretch, you can have it. We're going to hold this for 8 breaths. And finishing it up, pulling it right back up to tabletop, kicking that right leg in. We're moving on. All right, let's get a little bit of stretching. So down dog is amazing, but we're first going to start with a child's pose, and we're actually going to open up into like a seal cobra. So what does that mean for those who don't know what I'm talking about? From here in tabletop, walk those hands a little bit further out so they are in front of the shoulders. Take a nice inhale, and exhale, shift it back into child's pose. And you can let that head relax. I'll give you a few breaths here. It's our first time here today. 3 more breaths. And finishing that next exhale, you're going to inhale, pull yourself back up through into that tabletop variation. And you're going to reach it forward, coming up and into a seal. If this is too much, lower into a half lift, just lifting. We're going to come into that back bend right here. So wherever you're at, I'll stay here for this first one. Let's hold it 3 more breaths. One more inhale. And exhale, press it back, child's pose. And now we're just going to follow with the breath, taking a nice inhale, reach it forward. Half lift or all the way up in that seal. And exhale it back. Let's do that a few times. And let's do that one more time. And coming back to neutral tabletop. Oh, let's give those wrists a little bit more love. Take those fingers, you can face them towards each other and just gently rock back and forth, palms up, fingers facing towards each other. Just a nice little stretch, gentle movement here. Oh, shake them out. Let's get some kitty biscuits, grip into the mat. Just like a cat makes biscuits, like you're trying to pull away from the mat. We're just making sure the fingers feel ready to go because we're about to go up into down dog. Same thing, walk those hands a little bit in front of the shoulders, tuck those toes under. Nice inhale, lift up into high plank. Inhale back, down dog. That is proper alignment for down dog. Once you're here, we're going to be here for a little bit. If you need to, you can drop between each heel so you can find some more opening in the back of the legs. Besides that, if you can't keep those legs all the way straight because the back wants to round, bend the knees first and then find length through the spine, pressing away from the ground with the shoulders squeezing together on the back side, the shoulder blades, and then pressing up those hips to the back wall. Finding yourself that nice, wonderful down dog. Let's do 5 more breaths here. And 1 more breath. And exhale, walk those feet to meet the hands at the front of the mat. Coming into a nice forward fold. You can take those elbows in the hands and just lower yourself, letting yourself relax if you want. If you want, you can also take those hands behind the legs, pulling yourself in. It's you versus you here. Let's go 6 breaths. Hands are clasped, unclasped, place them on the legs, and take a nice inhale, half lift. Find that back nice and straight. And exhale, back down. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. This time, inhale, lift all the way up, swooping those arms out by the sides, rising all the way up. And exhale, hands down by the sides. Just take a moment here. Take a hand over the heart if you want. One more breath. And exhaling forward, folding all the way back down, taking those hands to the mat, walking your feet back out to that high plank. Ooh, let's hold this, 3 breaths. And pressing back, down dog. All right, next, nice inhale. As you exhale, reach it forward into that high plank. Drop those knees if you would like. And we're just going to lower ourselves all the way to the mat. So from here, we are going to come into what's called a half frog. You're going to take that left arm, placing it across the mat like so. And then you're going to bend at the right knee, taking that right hand. And the goal is to be able to reach around to that foot or ankle. If you need help, grab a strap, a belt, something like that, and actually clasp it so you can pull it in. And we're going to be here. If this feels easy, you can lift that leg off the ground, just creating more space, stretching the front of that thigh. Let's get 6 breaths here. A few more, actually. And one more inhale. And exhale. And release, gently lowering that leg to the mat. Switching sides, taking that right hand to rest the forehead on, bending at the left knee, taking that left hand, clasping around the foot or the ankle, and finding that nice length. Settle in, remember, breathe into those areas of tightness. And gently releasing, letting that leg fall right back down to the mat. And you're just going to press yourselves back up into a nice sphinx. Letting the hips, the hip flexors, the thighs, the low belly press into the earth. Let that heart shine forward, collarbone nice and long. Throat open on the front. Do 4 more breaths. And from here, taking those hands, shimmying them right by the sides, tucking those toes under. We've got some strength here. Doing the best you can. Press yourself up through that high plank and back to down dog. We're going to start moving into some 3-legged dog and then bringing ourselves into some nice deep lunges. You can opt out of 3-legged dog if you want. However, I highly recommend practicing it if you can. You're going to keep those hips square, taking a nice inhale. You're going to lift that right leg, just like so. We're just going to hold this 3 breaths. 3. You're going to lift, and what you're going to do is you're going to take that leg and you're going to drive it to the outside of the right hand. Nice and gentle. Let that back leg relax. Here comes the time for the block. So we're going to do a nice deep lizard lunge right here. I'm going to show you the goal. The goal is to be able to get down, spine nice and long, just like so. I'll show you on both sides. However, a block is going to be great because it actually gives you space to just hold. So if this right here is where you can keep that spine nice and long, keep that gaze forward, this is it. You can drop lower, drop, just like so. That's fine. The leg can abduct outward to the side, that's fine. We're just going to hold this. If you haven't already gotten here, we still have about 10 more breaths. One more breath. Wherever you are, press yourself back up. Take that leg, shimmy it in between the hands. Just had heard a sound. And you're going to shift back into a half split. Here's another place for the blocks if you need them. You want to keep that spine nice and long again. You want that length all through the back of the leg, toes pointed towards you. 5 breaths here. If you are like, this is easy, you can hinge forward and almost hug over to the right side. And untwisting if you're twisted. Walk those hands back forward, coming back over. Find that self in a nice low lunge. From here, we can just lift up. Make sure that knee is good. If you need extra cushion, get a cushion for it. Oops, there goes my balance. And we're just gonna hold it here. 2 more breaths. And shimmy that foot back to the outside of that right hand. Take a nice inhale like you're threading the needle. Reach that right arm up. And bend it backwards, following that gaze with it. We're going to hold this 5 breaths. This is easy. You can take that back leg, pull it in. Here we go. And exhale, release. Take those back toes on the left foot, tuck them under, lift up, kick back through if you would like. 3-legged dog, back to down dog. Oh, that was great. All right, we got the left side. Nice inhale, lift that left leg, 3-legged dog, keep those hips square. One more breath here. And exhaling, taking that left foot outside of left hand, relaxing that right knee, toes untucked. Here's a better view of this lizard lunge. Like I said, if you need support with a block, the goal is as deep as you go, find that length in the spine. I don't want this, I want this. So if you need to be higher, hold it here. Let's get 8 more breaths here. Let's take 1 more breath. And inhale, lifting, shimming that foot in between the hands, and you're going to press back once again to that half split. Find that length in the spine. If you want, you can hug over. We got 5 breaths. And rock it back forward. Find that nice grip over that left foot. Just reach it up. We got this. Toes can be tucked under or not. 2 more breaths. And walk those hands, shimmy that foot out to the outside of that left foot, left hand. Take a nice inhale, reach that left arm up. And exhale, twisting over. If you want, you can pull that back leg in for an extra thigh stretch. 6 breaths. One more breath. And exhale, release, untwist, come back forward. Tuck those back toes under, lift up, kick through, 3-legged dog. Back to down dog. That's nice. Okay, let's drop those knees. Nice tabletop. So here's how this is going to work. We are going to come into a pigeon pose. Pigeon pose is a bit of a opening stretch. I am going to give some guidance for extra help. So what you're going to do is you're going to start with our right leg, and you're just going to come and you're going to cross it across the front. And you're going to drop through this. Let me square up. This is what you want. Those hips nice and squared, best as possible. But if this is hard, take a block, take a pillow, take something you got. Lift up, reach it underneath the hip. This is going to give you more space. See? Feels easier. And we're going to hold this. This is easy. If you're like, I do pigeon. This is easy. If you're already here, that's great. We're going to stay a bit longer. Take those hands, reach them off. We're going to hold this up 5 breaths. If not, keep those hands here if this is still a challenge. If not, lift up if you want more. And exhaling, folding forward. Nice folded pigeon. Once again, if you want more challenge, you can thread the needle. So if the right knee is bent, you can take that left arm, thread it under like so. If this is too much, just stay leaning forward. Two more breaths. One more inhale and an exhale, coming back up and through. I'm going to be turning away from you. I'm going to show you the proper flow. You're going to rotate so you're a long ways on the mat like this. And from here, I'm going to turn around so you can see what I look like. From here, you're going to be in this nice, happy position across the mat, right? And what you're going to do, I'm going to scoot back across, or you can actually stay here. Take that right hand, press it into the ground, reach that left arm up, inhale, reach over. And drop it back down. Take that left arm, graze it down that left leg. If this is enough of a stretch, that's fine. If you need that leg further out right here, that's fine. But from here, you're going to take that right arm, inhale, reach it over. If this is a good stretch for you, you want to stay here. You can take this right hand, place it on the small of the back for a little bit more shoulder opening. If you've got some greater range of motion, you can reach it all the way over. The goal here is actually to work that nice spine, that low back. Let's hold it, 6 breaths. One more inhale. And a whole exhale. Take a nice inhale. Exhale, unfold, come right back up. That was nice. So you're going to just roll back forward over the front of the mat, lift yourself up through plank, and we're going to switch sides. Taking that left leg forward into pigeon. Once again, using that block when needed. Lift off the ground with those hands if this is more of a challenge, or if you need to support yourself, keep those hands on the legs or the mat. Let's hold this. And walk those hands down, coming to that nice folded pigeon. If you want to thread, take that right arm through, thread it under. If not, just lean forward. Listen to your body. 10 counts total. One more inhale. And then exhale. And pulling yourself back up and through. Same thing this time. Doing that nice fluid motion, rotating the side of the mat. You can't see my face, but you know I showed you the other side. I'm going to demonstrate the back side. So take that left hand, press it into the mat, inhale, reach it over. Nice kneeling extended side angle, that side plank. One more breath. And exhale, come back down, take a nice inhale. Take that right hand down the right leg and fold it open. Find that length right through here, all through the body. If you want to keep that hand up, you can just keep that hand on the small of the back, like so, or like so. And if you want more challenge, come all the way over. Three more breaths. One more inhale. And an exhale. And come back up through to center. Straighten those legs, squaring off the front of the mat. We're going to take our, what do I want to do? I have two things I want to give you. We're going to first take our right leg, cross it over the left leg. We're coming into a nice seated supine twist. We'll take 4 breaths here. And untwisting, figure 4ing it so the inner thigh is touching the sole of the right foot. And nice exhale, forward fold. 4 breaths. And one more inhale. And an exhale. And then inhaling, coming back up. Extending that right leg, crossing left leg over the right leg, twisting over. Nice seated crossbody twist. 4 breaths. And untwisting, taking a nice inhale, inner thigh to the sole, exhaling, forward fold. 4 breaths. And finishing that, inhaling, coming right back up. And we are done. As always, if I gave you anything that felt really good and you want to hold it any longer, you can totally do so. But that is it for this beautiful hip and leg opening, restorative and rejuvenating session. See y'all on the next one.